It's your boy Sweetlick back with another school for Sweetlick Weekly. Special guest today, I would say community activist.
Yeah, you could call me that.
Shaw for Homegrown. I'm glad to tell a little bit about herself, what she's been doing, what you can expect out of her in the near future. Without further ado, introduce yourself.
Hello, everyone. My name is Tanesha Hudson, born and raised in Charlottesville. A lot of you already know. I'm a community leader. I would like to say that. Just fighting for change, doing a lot of positive work. I do a women's event every March where we honor women who have led the way. I do the Made in Charlottesville concert. The Made in Charlottesville.
That was lit last year too. That was definitely lit.
The Made in Charlottesville concert was basically a recreation of what was already being done in Charlottesville. That stuff that used to actually happen in the 50s and the 60s at the barn in Washington Park.
Back then, though.
Yeah. Well, actually, famous people used to come here.
That's what's up.
Louis Armstrong.
You just did a documentary on Shaw for too.
Etta James. Yeah. I'm getting there.
Okay.
And I did a documentary titled The Legacy Unbroken, the story of Black Charlottesville. It highlights and outlines the life and experience of growing up Black in Charlottesville. And so it talks about a lot of the positive history. It's so easy to show us in a negative light. And I was inspired to do this documentary because I feel it's important to document the history, our history, in our own words, in our own way.
I feel like a lot of people out in Charlotte are uneducated about our history too.
Absolutely. I think a lot of us, even the younger generation, we don't respect or, cherish what those before us have done. And it's important that we show the world where we've been and where we anticipate to go. And, demand what we need out here because they wipe it out, so we can't have any demands, I feel like. And so that's
one thing I can say about you, because I know it's been a while, but you be going to city council meetings a whole lot.
Yeah.
I do a lot of yelling and screaming out there too. A lot of people don't support the city council like that is.
Yeah. So that's a little bit about me. I mean, other than that, I'm just a normal around the way girl. I grew up in West Haven. I am definitely from the projects, okay? An original. And proud of it, I embrace that portion of my life because it helped shape me. And a lot of people that don't know me never even know that about me. They don't even know that I came from Hardy Drive.
They gotta talk to you and really get to know you to really get to know you.
Yeah, but
you never judge a book by the cover, especially if somebody meet you out in trouble right here today. They can't just be just assume you're from the project.
Yeah, but that around the way girl come out of me quick.
Especially late at night.
Yeah.
So what else you got on for Sharper, in store for Sharper that you, or what do you feel like Sharper kind of need though right now? What we missing right now?
So before you was fashionably late,
we ain't got to talk about that.
Doe Man and I were having a little conversation, and I'm not gonna say what I want to do. I'm doing it. It's just a slow process because I have a lot of different projects on the table right now, but I'm starting a podcast called Cocktails and Conversations.
You told about that a while ago.
And on this particular podcast, I think it's important that we talk about the state of the culture of Charlottesville and what do we need for our culture. A lot of things that are often misrepresented out here is how do young Black millennials, how do we date out here? The dating scene is so whack and corny around here. Mm-hmm. And so I think it's ways to kind of, get things going for us that for the single folks.
I never thought something like that though. That's cool.
Yeah, for the single folks. And it's going to touch on a lot of different things, not just relationships, but, politics, social change, social reform, social justice, it's going to touch on a lot of different things. I want different guests on my show. I want people from the hood. I want people from downtown and City Hall. I want people from the music industry. I want people from the entertainment industry.
I want to just interview some people from City Council and stuff too. I think in 2020 I'm really going to reach out to a little more. get a little more political in 2020 for real.
Yeah, well, I think it's just about, social engagement. Like we gotta sometimes step outside our box. Things change for you when you change the people around you.
I learned that a lot. Growing up, I learned that a lot, man.
Yeah, things change in a positive way. But my documentary, I plan on putting in the Virginia Film Festival. So the cut that I'm showing, that's the first cut. That's really like a rough cut of the film. There's some changes that's gonna come to it to be premiered in the Virginia Film Festival.
If nobody seen it right now, where can they go and look at it at right now?
I'm working on doing a January premiere of my film to get more community people in the seats. And I mean, it was enough people that actually seen it. The thing about it is, and I
seen the trailer on YouTube. That was kind of lit too.
I'm glad we on a platform where I can say this. We have got to stop waiting to support each other right at the last minute. Because what we don't understand is that more people are interested and in tune with our history than we are. And so as mad as you get that an audience is all white at an event that's supposed to be playing for black people, you can't get mad that they jump first to go buy tickets or to support you. And I say that to say that, like, if we really want to support each other, and I try to support everybody, I can't be at every event. I'm a busy person.
But I think the main thing with a lot of people is like, what's a good word I could say? Like they won't support you, but then they see other people support you, and they have like negative energy towards that. Like,
well, I think in my journey it's a little different because I feel like if anything taught me this, it was the Wale concert, right? Because played a major role in the Wale concert happening here in Charlottesville, and I think that even when people act as if they don't support you, they really do support your work. And I was probably the most talked about individual of Charlottesville when that request was made to ask for that money, right? And so when I didn't get it, I had to hear stuff from this side, and then I had to hear stuff from the other side as well. But then when you make stuff happen, the same people that's talking was the same people that was out there enjoying the festivities. And so I think
I was out there. That was definitely lit, man.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we have to come to some
But I also feel like
you
really can't feed into negative energy either.
Well, and I don't.
That's why you gotta keep, like when you're driving, you can't look to your right, your left. You gotta keep driving.
But that's why I say you have to find that's what I was saying is you have to find a common ground on what actually what works your temper up, because at this point I think I'm more inclined to want to hear the negative stuff than the positive stuff. And I'm gonna tell you why. It make you work harder. Like it make you work harder. So it's like the more people talk bad about you, the more you just keep producing. And the more you produce, the more you tend to shut up the people that doubted you to begin with anyway. I think a lot of people just thought like, Tanesha just want to yell and scream and cuss people out. And it's like, I'm busting down doors that they told us not to even enter at this point.
But I think we need like more people like out in the community really voicing their opinion or really saying something, because a lot of people just, especially like at the August 12th event, even if you like wasn't there, it seemed like a lot of people just talking crazy from afar, like this and that, we shouldn't have been there, or me personally I wasn't there, but what we should have did or what we shouldn't have did, it's just crazy. But we need more like of us out there on the front line and stuff. Though.
And I can say, we're doing this work, like it's not easy, and a lot of people think like you sign up to just be talked about, to get hate mail. I get hate mail at my house. I mean, my kid's name be on it. So I think a lot of people really don't think about the backlash of what people like myself, Nakaya, Wes, Zayana, and other black activists out here are actually going through, and how we risk not only ourselves but our family, to be out here doing this work. And August the 12th is just the whole summer. I feel like was just a situation where it showed that when white people control media, right? They can put out whatever story they want to put out. And so even though black people were there and black people were out there fighting, we didn't get the credit for it. And the whole narrative of it.
I think we need more like outlets for like black people.
Absolutely.
Other than like media takeout and World Star. I'm not really a big fan of World Star no more either, but we need kind of our own outlets to really, like our own black media for real.
We need more positive. We need more positive, stories put out about us. Because it's so easy to show us in a negative light.
Because I think they was doing the, what's the name? When they doing the same thing on August 12th, Bug and
the book bag giveaway.
The book bag giveaway. They were doing the same thing on August 12th and stuff too. A lot of people didn't realize that it was
And then everybody gave Wes a hard time for not being there, but he was in the park giving away book bags. And so, it's just...
A lot of narrative people don't, like you said, don't really see and stuff.
When it's one way to, it's a million ways to tell a story.
Shout out to them, but they was at the book bag drop.
Yeah, shout out to them. They do good work too. Like, I think everybody around here is doing something positive and something.
Like you said, we kind of got to more come together. Because
we do.
You got people doing stuff over there.
We do.
We kind of got to come like in like a circle or something.
We really do. We really do. And I really do try to, reach out to people. And when people reach out to me and need help or need something or, want to support black businesses, I try to doing the same things. You don't want to just cater to one person all the time. You gotta divvy it up and make sure everybody gets a piece of the pie.
Definitely. But like you say, you can't be everywhere. So I like to appreciate you because you came to come to my court dates and stuff too. You gotta tell the whole what's it about, but yeah. You definitely check on me a lot too, like how you doing when you're next,
I support people in court because I feel like we don't really get that type of support, and it's major when you walk into a courtroom and they say who you here for, and you say, I'm here with so and so. That says a lot, and we don't really get that moral support that we need all the time, and it's important.
And sometimes that's all you need is just somebody sometimes all you need is somebody to say how your day going, or what you got coming up, or how you feel, or you know what I'm saying, something like that, just to really keep you going, like keep you motivated, you know what I'm saying, do something. Yeah. Because mental health, that's a crazy issue too in itself too, man.
Absolutely. I was just talking about that the other day, on a relationship basis, is that I think a lot of people don't realize how broken we are based on our upbringings, right? If you come up in a home and you in a single parent home, you tend to, either you don't have a dad or you don't have a mom, and you already broken. And so we don't really deal with our pain. We kind of just, live life just going with the flow, thinking that things gonna change with time, and it don't. You have to really address that type of stuff. And it's hard for people to love when you feel like you grew up and you never really had love to begin with. Or you've been in a house with both parents, but you watch one parent dog the other parent, so you think that's the way to live life. It's so much with mental health in the black community, and I think it's things that we don't address. Even with like black women. And I really want to touch on this because growing up as a black woman, you taught like have your own, do for yourself, and be independent. Like we're raised to be independent and not really love and care for a man, or to be able to morally support a man, because our mothers or our grandmothers, they grew up single, independent, or in a bad relationship, in a messed up relationship, to the point that they gonna make sure we don't really go through it, but the whole time they're not really teaching us about love. And so you grow up not really loving or not really having to share anything with anybody. And then you just realize, like, man, my mom taught me everything except how to love. And so you don't know how to properly love a man. And so you have to go back and unlearn a lot of things. And I think we're not having those conversations in our household about unlearning stuff. So it's a little deep for some of y'all, but I hope it helped.
Definitely. What else you want to tell the people out there on the Sweetlick Network?
Support local artists. Like I'm really becoming an advocate for local artists. I feel like, people like Dope Man, Trauma Tone on the production side of things, working with a lot of different artists. And I don't think we give local artists enough respect. I think a lot of local artists out here are doing a lot of positive things. We just need to start embracing people. Like,
if you can came to rap battle last night too. I'm disappointed some of the artists out here, but that's another story.
If you can share, somebody's stuff that you never even met before, you could share somebody's stuff that you know. And
I think that's crazy though too. Like in a sense, like if you put out, say like you said, just like a video. There shouldn't be no reason why 20, 30 people shouldn't be sharing your video and they'll go viral.
So I have a whole soundtrack for my movie and everybody was local artists. Brandon, Dudley, Nathaniel Starr, Sared Davenport, Chris Newman, shout out to y'all. Shout out to y'all. They did all the music for my documentary. And I just think if in order for us to grow, like if we really want to make Black Charlottesville, something positive and powerful, like we have to learn to like work together, come together,
support and share,
sit in a room with each other.
That's hard to share something though. That's the thing. That's a crazy. It don't take like 1 second to share something.
That's true. That's true.
That's really crazy.
And people really have to learn like how business work, because it's a lot of people I think that are doing positive things, that are doing major things to enhance our community, but they don't like change and they don't like somebody critiquing their work. And I'm a firm believer, like if you don't like what I do and you want to critique me, I'm gonna take it in, because I had to deal with being critiqued in everything that I do out here in the community. But at the same time, I listen to those people. You may not listen right away, but if you want to build your brand to make it something powerful and to really do what you set yourself out to do, you have to learn to take criticism. Like
constructive criticism is the best criticism.
You can't not want to listen to somebody I can't sit across from a millionaire and tell this man he don't know what he's talking about. Like, I'm having conversations with people that I've never been able to sit in a room with. I'm talking billionaires and millionaires. And these are people that you have to start taking advice from, because listen.
You got some interviews with them people. I did a holler at them.
We know a lot of things, but I feel like I don't know business. So
that's another thing with a lot of artists too. That's another thing that we lacking, like that funding aspect.
Absolutely.
Like if you don't really got the money to really do this rap thing, you really not gonna get off the ground. Honestly.
However, at the same time, listen, I watch a lot of different like documentaries. I'm a firm believer in the Revolt seminar that they have in Miami. I think I even reached out to different people. I know I inboxed Dope Man about it one time. Like, yo, y'all need to get down to Revolt. Like, you network, you meet a lot of people. But I watched an interview recently with the baby, and the baby was saying how he had like 3 cars, a whole bunch of clothes and shoes, and how he just sold everything to invest in himself. Listen, there's nothing more important than investing in you. Definitely. You cannot expect a person with the money that has the funding to give you to believe in your project if you don't believe in your project. Like, people don't know, like, yo, I went broke, literally, to master some of the things that I wanted to do in life. Like, I work in IT, and in order to work in IT, I had to pay to go to this seminar, that seminar, take this certification, take this test. In order to become something better than what you are, you gotta invest in yourself. And if you have to temporarily be broke to become what you want to be, hey, that's fine. Listen, we do so much to try to impress people that don't do nothing for us. Like,
I think that's what the show for scenes really lacking. Just a lot of artists are investing in themselves and really, because I feel like some artists won't even put $100, $200 behind themselves to really get out there. Like, honestly, like they always expect something to come to them instead of
but you can't. And I'm not taking away. I think people need to understand, like, you should set your value on what you worth. Absolutely. Yeah. However, sometimes you have to give more than you receive. Yeah. Like, a lot of people like, well, how much money you making off your documentary? Guess what? I ain't made no money yet. Yeah. I spent some of my own personal money. Yes, I had a grant, but I spent more of my own personal money to make that documentary than what people know. And it's not about the return up front, because guess what? Guess what it did? It opened up doors. I have a meeting coming up, you know, to get some additional funding, to get a real production team together to reshoot my documentary or to make a whole docu-series about Black history in Charlottesville. And so you have to think like long term. Like we be thinking for the moment, like $10,000, $20,000 is nothing if you don't know how to turn 10 and 20 into, you know, 500,000. You have to be able to take a little bit and make it into something bigger. And I think that more people need to understand that that's what investing in yourself is. If you have to take $200 to open up a new door and to be able to sit in a meeting with somebody else, then you just got to do that. But you spent $200 on sneakers.
That's crazy. I was actually watching, it was that Master P and Snoop Dogg interview the other day, and Master P said something on the air like $2,500 to be with Michael Jackson lawyer way back in the day. He said that was the best money he ever spent. Just talking to Michael Jackson lawyer. That's how he really got in the game and really started learning about like the music industry and all that stuff.
And I had so many people doubt me. Like I really like to like put this out there because, you know, my documentary was a 2-year project, almost 2 years, really about a year and a half. I started filming in May of 2018, and it was about a year and a half process. But like so many people was, you know, starting to doubt the project. So many people were starting to, you know, feel some type of way about it. And I kept telling people like, look, I'm self-teaching myself. I knew nothing about filming, right? I knew nothing about making a documentary. I just knew that everybody will monopolize on what happened during the summer of hate. And I wanted to come from a different perspective.
It definitely push off on the map, though, I ain't gonna lie.
And
I had a lot of people out of town that didn't. Never even been to Charlotte. The only thing they probably been through like maybe on the train station, but like that day really, I was really seeing like a lot of people just calling me like, "Yo, you alright? What's going on, Charlotte?" Like it was just crazy. Like Charlotte just came on the map like that.
Yeah, people didn't know about it 2 weeks before. Yeah. Like it was like, "Oh, you live in Charlotte?" No, Charlottesville. Definitely not Charlotte. But, you know, I mean, a lot of people doubted the project. And, you know, now that I'm able to see the fruits from my labor, you know, I'm just glad that, you know, more people are receptive to it now than, you know, like before. Because a lot of people...
Success is always good, though.
A lot of people feel like we shouldn't know who we are. And, you know, that's really just not what's up. Like, we deserve to know who we are and where we've been. And we should want to set some goals for where we really want to go and where we want our city to be. Like, yeah, they can move us out our neighborhoods. They can move us, you know, to the outskirts, to the counties or whatever. But, like, you can't take away that history. Like, that history is going to always be there. And it's important that we teach those behind us so they can keep it going.
But tell people about your social media, where they can find you at, though, where they can link with you.
Well, I'm about 4 friends away from maxing out on Facebook. But on Facebook, Tanesha Hudson. And on Instagram, my handle is @PinkLadyTH. And A Legacy Unbroken. You can go to the website, www.legacyunbroken.com. On Facebook, you can add A Legacy Unbroken, the story of Black Charlottesville. So, hope you guys come out to my women's event. That's going to be in March at the Jefferson. And of course, we're going to redo Made in Charlottesville Part 2. And a documentary premiere I'm shooting for January 2020.
That's what's up, man. Y'all know where to follow me at. Sweetlick King on everything. I am Sweetlick on IG. Follow my promo pages, Sweetlick Promo on Twitter and IG. My fan page on Facebook, Sweetlick Entertainment. Make sure you hit the like button. I'm already at my max on friends on Facebook, so you can follow me on Facebook, Rico Hearns. And that's about it. And shout out to my cameraman, Doughman.
Shout out to Doughman. Doughman doing some good work.
Make sure y'all follow him too, my Doughman Network. And we out of here. Sweetlick Weekly 2020 coming.